Right, it looks like we are live over here. Let me make sure we are live here on YouTube. Good. And then we are going to get into a jam-packed onboarding day here where you're going to have everything you need for onboarding. As always, jump in the comments. Let me know. Right, one, let me know that you're returning. Welcome back. If you're returning, welcome back. If you're brand new here with me, you've been missing out. And for those that are looking to really level up their knowledge, level up their experience, add some new revenue to their business, some new strategy to their business. This is the challenge to be a part of, whether it's replaying it, watching it from where we left off day one, or joining the course, taking part of it, and then joining live, not this coming week, the week after, right? So it's up to you. Thank you for all those that are jumping in here in the comments, being active. I appreciate you. A couple things with the comments. One, because we're not like on a Zoom and we're two-way here in person or in a group, the comments is what I'm looking at. That's what I have, on my screen, right? I'm looking at that here on my end, on my tablet, right? So I'm in the mix with you guys. I'm excited, and I may not shout you out particularly for everything you share and say, but I'm taking notes here as we're going along, and I think that's the most important part, is that the feedback here that you give in this course is the feedback that we implement moving forward in some way, shape, or form. So it's a beautiful Thursday. If you're in the States, United States, or out of the country, what time zone are you in? What time zone are you in? And if you're out of the country, when you do take on clients, are you taking on clients from within your region, in your area, or are you going outside of your region in the United States in particular? Be more than happy to know, because I think, as we get into onboarding and we get into fulfillment, it's important to know what your customer's day is like, right? Whether it's morning, afternoon, evening, it's important to know what they kind of go through in their day for their business. So you could be respectful of it, and then understand if they can't make it to a certain time, or they're seen busy, it's not because of you, it's because of what they're dealing with. So we'll touch on a few of those things with onboarding. And it all plays a big part, because the onboarding is the initial experience that someone has after now they've paid you, right? So the mindset is, oh, I gave you money now you're hard to get a hold of, or oh, I gave you money now and now you're not as on top of what you were before, right? That's what a lot of business owners have in their mind because of who they've worked with before. And typically they've experienced this, and I've experienced it myself, where when a business owner is working with a really big company, and that big company has salespeople, right, that work on commission, and those salespeople that work on commission are door to door or in person, and they have to pass on the customer to somebody else. They're not doing a warm pass off, right? They're not transitioning it smoothly, and because of that, that gives that this is not what I signed up for, right? Now, in your case, majority of your cases, maybe it's you plus one or just you alone. There will be a time where you'll need to pass it off, or somebody that you appoint to do this part of the onboarding will do it on your behalf altogether. So I want you to have a forward-thinking mindset around, I'm doing this now, but how and what do I need to do to document the process that works, that I can have someone else do it on my behalf, and then put a plan for a smooth transition from me to them. Because in order to grow any business, you have to have new sales, new relationships established. Now, if you're a high ticket, if you're selling a service for a really expensive price, well, then maybe one or two clients will do it per month or per quarter. But what if you lose that one client? Now, where does the revenue go? Down. So volume is a big part. So how I want you to look at this is almost like an assembly line, right? When you make a purchase on, whether it's Amazon or eBay or an online grocery store, Uber, DoorDash, there's a process that goes in place, right? You get on the app, you pick your items, you pay, and then there's like next step. There's some statuses. You're aware of what's happening from A to Z. That's what I want you to keep in mind when you're working with clients. They want to be aware of what's happening from A to Z. Now, they don't want to know exactly what you're doing A to Z, but there's these moments, and I've experienced them, and I know they're not unique to me, but there's these moments that customers out of nowhere on a Sunday will send you a text. On a Monday morning, have a big emergency. The day after a holiday, call you with, hey, what am I paying for? And I used to always get frustrated when I was in sales doing this because I was like, what the heck? Like, I'm spending so much time with these people and I'm getting to know them, I'm helping them out, we're becoming friends, and they're still questioning or really, making this awkward. And I started to realize really quickly that it's because I'm not sharing clear enough. I'm not sharing clear enough process, progress, and expectations. And I believe that's the biggest takeaway today. If the only thing you get out of this training is what I just said, a clear progress, process, and expectations, then let it be. And here's how that looks like. And I'll get you into the deck here. I promise we'll get into this deck. But I just want to kind of give you the professor chat, right? If you go to college, right, or go to any sort of training, there's the textbook, and then there's what the professor or the instructor says. And usually that instructor has some of that experience. Well, I'm going to give you some of my experience, and I want you to just take this for what it's worth. Micromanage in the beginning everything you do. Micro document everything, whether it's voice to text, whether it's jotting down, whether it's recording a video. Accumulate all of that, and then you're going to push that into an AI process, right? And I want to show you here an example as I'm talking to you about this, but onboarding is not the same for everybody, right? So I want you to keep in mind here, onboarding is not the same for everybody. So you will have uniqueness, but if you're in our high-level official community, there's a whole bunch of great nuggets in there. There's a whole bunch of great people in that high-level official community, that Facebook group, that have discussions around onboarding, right? And as you really hone in on one, the type of customers you're bringing on, the type of services you're turning on, and then the type of communication that you're setting the expectation of, you're good to go, right? So let's now take that chunk of information and apply it to what we're doing here with the reviews, right? So we're selling reviews as a service, reviews as an offer, reputation management. So we know that we're turning on, at the very least, the reputation feature. Now, when we look at the reputation feature has a few components, but not a whole lot, right? And that's by design. So, imagine that you're selling all of high level with your brand. That's a lot to go over, and that's a lot to onboard. But at the very least, in this case, you're just selling the reputation feature. So let's think about what would be required, right? So in order to really fulfill on the reputation feature, we need a few things. And let's walk through that together here. And again, jot down some notes, any questions. If I'm going too fast, if I lost you a little bit, don't be shy. Let me know. Don't be shy. Let me know, because this is all about you. I've done this over and over and over. I'm always learning it different ways each time as I do it over and over. But for you that are brand new to this, I need to make sure you understand the core part of it, right? So reputation feature goes on. We need to, first and foremost, make sure that our phone settings, right? So we need to, first and foremost, get them a phone number. So that's first thing that goes on our SOP, right? So I'm just going to jot this down. So phone number, right? That's first and foremost, right? Set up phone number. Next thing here we need to do is set up the email, right? Because review requests go out through phone number and email, both, right? So we need to do that. I need to make sure we're adding all staff that needs to be a part of this. All their employees that need to be a part of this. We need to make sure we add them, right? I need to make sure they download the app, right? Download the mobile app, which I'll go over here. right? And let's go to this section here. If they're out of country, right, we'll want to make sure they download the WhatsApp. They'll need WhatsApp, right? So we got that part set up, but let's just go SMS for right now. After that, we'll need to make sure they have SMS, they have their social media needs to be connected, right? So we got to make sure social, Facebook, Instagram at the very least, connected. We got to make sure, obviously, the Google business profile is connected, right? And we need to make sure we get the ideal list of where they want to increase their reviews and in the priority order. That's also very important, right? So as I'm going through this here, let me just see what we got. Oh, we need to make sure we add the chat widget, right? Chat widget is going to be key. We need to make sure we add the conversation AI as well. That'll also help, right? And then we need to make sure we add the reviews AI because we need to respond to reviews, right? This will all make sense here in a minute. I'm just kind of listing, I'm thinking it out loud of doing it myself. Practice, practice, practice. Okay, all right, perfect. So I think I got pretty much everything here. What I want to make sure I do is I want to make sure, give me a second here. I want to make sure their business profile information. I want to make sure their business profile information is properly filled out. And the reason why that's important is because, within the reviews, we use custom values, right? And with the custom values, give me one second. With the custom fields, these custom fields here pull from information that's in your business profile, in your contact section, right? These are the universal kind of coding, and then it pulls from it. So, like for example, if this contact company name, right, is pulling from the business profile, and this is wrong, well, this is not the name I want on it. I need to make sure this is the right name I want presented, right? So that's where the custom fields comes in. So we're good to go there. All right. So this is our checklist, right? So now let's go here. Now the purpose of this is to pretty much share what our process is. So let's create a welcome email. Create me a welcome email that has the tonality of The Rock from WWE, aka the wrestler, that welcomes my new client on board and gives them the game plan for the next 2 weeks that we are going to accomplish in the launch of his Super Reviews subscription. Please include that my hours of operation are Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern, and I can be reached at phone or text, the preferred method communication, so we can stay organized, is through our support ticket form that can be found at superreviews.com/support, as well as our AI, as well as our chat assistant by visiting superreviewsai.com. Right? I'm just giving. This is something that you should be doing and thinking about. I just want to expose you to like how this is kind of done, the strategy behind it. Because look, I can give you all a template on an onboarding, right? Easy, give an easy template on this. But what I want to make sure you know as you're getting into running your software business is whether you have to teach this to somebody or do it from scratch, how, right? How do I do it without spending thousands of dollars on a course? Well, that's exactly why I'm going over this, right? So we got this part here set up. Please make this, so boom, we got this here, right? So please make this easy to understand for someone who is not techie, but super excited to learn and be involved. Right, so we'll start with that, right? Because I can go on and on and on here. Please be sure to include the above bullet points as part of a visual checklist that we will be marking off together, right? And my best advice here, y'all, is, and I said y'all because I saw Texas here. I saw a few of you here from Texas, so that's where the y'all came from. Shout out to the Texans in the mix here. Appreciate y'all. You know, as I'm creating this here, you know, I want to just like I want to make sure y'all understand the value behind this, and the value is clear communication, clear understanding, process in place, organized. There's a know-how, all right, this guy, this gal knows what they're doing. They got me squared away here. I'm excited. Right? There's no worries. And typically, you know, there's a saying like, this is what keeps people up at night. Typically, depending on how much you charge for the service, this will keep your customer up at night, believe it or not. Because nobody wants to feel beat. Nobody wants to feel like they got gypped. Nobody wants to feel that they have to chase somebody to get the result that they paid for. So this is where we're just like, here, I'm ahead of you. Here's what we're doing, right? So let's go ahead and do this. So I'm going to go to some ChatGPT. And this is like, this is regular ChatGPT. This isn't even the fancy one, right? If you have the fancy ChatGPT, let me know what version you're using. If you're using Claude, let me know if you're using Claude more. If you're using any other AI, let me know what AI you're using. Go in the chat. Right? So let it do its thing. What's always fun about this, like when I use ChatGPT for different projects and different things, it's almost like that virtual teacher. Like I learned so much, like just from wordplay, from positioning, from strategy, from clarity, from just overall. And that's where you want to stay the student and you want to be excited about it, right? So let's take a look at this here. Subject, welcome to the team. Let's get ready to rock this launch. Hey, The Rock here. Well, not The Rock, but you get the picture. I'm pumped to welcome you on board with Super Reviews. You've made a smart move, and together we're going to lay the smackdown on your online presence over the next 2 weeks. Here's the game plan. We're going to set up phone number. We'll get your dedicated line up and running to ensure clients can reach you easily. We're going to set up your email. To get that email up and ready for action, you'll be able to manage your communications like a pro. Let's get your team in the game. We'll add additional staff members to ensure everyone's ready to rumble. Grab the Super Reviews app so you can manage everything on the go, anywhere, anytime. We're going to connect your social media accounts as key. We'll get those synced up for seamless review management. We'll optimize your Google business profile to make sure you're the champ in the local searches. We'll review prioritizations. We'll brainstorm where you want to beef up your reviews and set up a priority order. We'll add the chat widget to your site so you can engage with visitors in real time. We'll set up conversation AI to help you turn visitors into customers. We'll set up your reviews AI, which will be our new tag team partner, helping you to gather and manage your customer feedback, and will ensure all your business details are properly filled out and ready to rock. How we'll stay in touch? Monday through Friday, 9 to 7. Phone or text. Preferred method, submit your request to our support ticket form or reach out through our AI assistant, chat assistant. We're in this together, and I'm here to make sure you're never alone in the ring. You bring the excitement, and I'll bring the expertise. Let's get ready to dominate. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Otherwise, buckle up. It's go time. Just made that in front of y'all. And I was able to make that in front of y'all because I had an idea of what I needed. I understood the concept of the reputation management tool. I understood that I needed a few elements to make this actually work. Yes, there is some tweaking that needs to be done, right? But there'll always be tweaking to be done. There'll always be something to switch. And a lot of y'all are using a paid version of ChatGPT, right? A lot of y'all are using, I'm just taking a look here on what some of y'all have shared. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, and yes, there was a comment here about a short demo video. Absolutely. If you want to grab a Loom, loom.com is what we use here at High Level often, but you could use any video software. But if you go ahead and create a short Loom on a video and then you just edit it a bit, you shorten it, you take out the gaps, what would normally be maybe a 7-minute video turns out to 3.5 minutes. And then you include that video as an embed with this email. And I got one up for you. As you start getting really good at this and creative, maybe you create a website page on your website, right? Because you get unlimited websites within High Level, and you embed this as a dedicated page with your video, and you just drive the traffic there. So there's so much ways, but I just wanted y'all to see that you don't need to pay a copywriter. You don't need to pay a freelancer. I mean, look, I don't want you to think I don't want you to spend money, right? I just want you to strategically invest in where you need it to be. Leverage the strategy, and you could apply, if you were going to pay somebody to do this for you, you can apply that somewhere else, right? So it looks like we got some great feedback on this, y'all, and I'm glad that you see value in it. But this is what onboarding's about: clarity, 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 and next steps, right? So now I'm going to say here, create me a checklist that I can make into a PDF for my client and save as a record of work completed. See what this does. Right? So this is like a Google Word doc, right? This is where you would use the Word doc here, right? Gives you the checkbox, all that good stuff, which is great, right? This is how much accountability do you want to have? And you might find that maybe you're a business consultant, maybe you're a business coach, maybe you're an accountability coach, right? Maybe someone's paying you thousands of dollars for your expertise, and now you've been outsourcing this to another company. They haven't been delivering on it, and now you're bringing this in-house. So you can take your experience with accountability and documentation and notation and follow-up and apply it in these manners, right? And now let's say I want to take this and I want to make it into like an Excel workbook, right? So this is going to create me an Excel workbook style format, right? And this really depends on how fancy and how official you want to look, but also, right, what first impression and continuing impression you want to make. So, from my more advanced, you might be saying, John, why are we going over this? Well, because we have a variety of people at different levels, we just want to make sure everyone knows. But I promise you that if you're really experienced at this and you're here because you're open-minded, and I appreciate that. These are some ways today that people will pay more money, right? They'll pay more money because there's more organization and there's more clarity. They'll pay for the service, not necessarily for the product, right? So this is the flexibility you have. I'm using the basic version of this. Y'all here are ahead of me. You got a 4.0. You got the boosted version. Some of you are funding your business account. Like, I'm working with the basics here, right? So imagine what you could do, right? So in the Facebook group, like today's Thursday in the US, right? Eastern time zone. Today's Thursday. Next week, we don't have any more lives. Next week, we're in the Facebook group going in on strategy, getting things done, sharing stories. Like, this is the stuff that I want you to share with each other on how you're optimizing, whether your acquisition, your nurturing, lead management, or your onboarding or upselling. Like, if you're not sharing ideas and action items, well, then you're really just not contributing to your best ability. And I'll just call it out like it is. We get a lot of people that don't contribute and share with the fear of competition. And there's no competition here, right? This here is just process. Because if there was competition, we wouldn't be showing you how to do it A to Z, right? So that's what we got here. This is exciting stuff. For those that don't really like admin stuff, this is like an easy way to get it going. And that's where we'll go here, right? So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And let's get a little bit more into here in the software walkthrough wise of the fulfillment. And then I'm going to go through a handful of a couple of slides, the why, the how, like more of that curriculum version of this. I'll go through thereafter, but I want to show you the technical stuff first, because I do know that people do have to jump sometimes, and I want to switch it up a bit. I want to get you techie first, and then we'll get into the good stuff after. By the way, today we're going to pull a winner. We'll pull a winner today for our swag giveaway for just sharing value, right? Just organically, naturally, human-like conversations. And so you enter to win automatically by just jumping in the convo, right? And that's on YouTube and Facebook. So, now I bring on this customer, and because I already set everything up for my high level, I get to set this up for my customers for super reviews. Well, if I forgot how to do my phone, my LC phone, well, I could just go through my course. I got the course. I got the step by step. But let's just say, for example, here with the LC phone, we're going to go to phone numbers, right? And I want to just touch on this because there's always sometimes some feedback, some questions around this. So our phone system is on Twilio. Our phone system's on Twilio. We created an interface that sits on top of Twilio called LC Phone, Lead Connector Phone. The same as the app, just abbreviated for the phone, right? And we did that so that way when you serve your customers, it's gray labeled. Call it gray labeled, right? Call it gray labeled. Now, if you want it white label, we offer a full white label at a premium monthly price, but this is gray labeled. And that way you can get your customers on. So people will go on LC Phone for two reasons. We've negotiated a discounted rate based on our volume of all of our customers that are on it. One, cheaper than the standard rate. And two, Twilio is just a little complicated if you're not techie, if you're not experienced with like API calls or webhooks. Like, it could be a little intimidating and a time killer. So when we created this interface, it was designed, go right on top, to walk you through everything you need that's important. So for example, let's start with the managed phone numbers, right? Like, let's say, for example, you have a customer and they have multiple marketing campaigns and you've upsold them. They need a phone number for their SMS and calls. They need a phone number for their lead tracking. Then they need a phone number for their caller ID masking, right? All of that's here. If you would have done that on Twilio, you've had to go to like a bunch of different areas for 3 different actions, right? Then the usage summary. And if you're on SaaS, SaaS mode, if you got the SaaS plan, comment SaaS below. Because the benefit of SaaS is that you get to rebill this amount. So whatever you pay, you get to add a couple of coins to it and make a profit off of that as well. And that summary is here. And this summary breaks down everything you need to know that's important to you and your customers. And that goes from all your information here, conversations, all your charges are all here, right? And then the regulatory bundle address, right? This gives you an area, right, that you get to fill in your bundle address. Like all the details are everything's done for you. Like this interface really just walks you through everything step by step. But there's nothing fancy here yet. The fanciness comes in with the trust center, right? And it took me a while to recognize this, right? Because there's so many features, so many parts of high level, you can't like figure it all out in one day. But the trust center breaks everything down in the order of the priority. So for example, A2P, application to person, is a process that all companies have to go through now. That was coordinated by the FTC as well as the phone carriers to reduce spam, fraud, all these different elements. So everybody has to get their phone number verified. And we do so by doing two things. One is your brand. You have to verify your brand. That gets verified first. So you put all your information in for your brand. It takes maybe a couple of hours, sometimes just a whole day. Once that's done, it unlocks the campaign. And the campaign is where it allows you to get approved to send out mass messages or appointment reminders or whatever the case may be. And the goal here is to get this registered and accepted on the first try, right? Because there is a fee for the registration. It's not a fee that, for us, it's the carriers as well as, the service. Going step by step here is important. And the true benefit of this is all the information here pulls from your business profile, right? So that's why all the information is important, right? So as this pulls through the business profile, you have a choice of doing sole proprietor brand or sole proprietor campaign, right? And this will break down step by step what it does and why, right? So as you're going through all of this, it's walking you through it to each area. Then it's asking you for your industry, your information. This is stuff normally, folks, that would be very complicated in the regular interface through Twilio. And again, Twilio's designed like for developers, right? Like a lot of companies use it. So it's not designed for like a quick, get it done, get it done. This is designed for the quick, get it done, right? To walk you through step by step, right? And I'm just plugging information. I want to get to this point right here. This is like the kicker, right? The kicker here is what we do is we give you examples. So you have to fill this information in, right? And typically people will not fill it in with detail, time, patience, or just understanding. So if you don't fill this in the right way, you'll get denied over and over and over and over and over and over. Right? This is not something that they made a mistake, we'll let it pass by. No, like you have to make sure that your information matches everything you've provided in the format that it asks you to do so. So this part here, we actually give you examples so you can customize and add your information in as needed. So you don't have to guesswork this. So what used to be a daunting task of registering your A2P is now something that you have a framework that will help you, as long as you fill in the information the correct way, complete the standard steps, right? And this is something that holds everybody back, right? So I want to make sure you understand this, seriousness of the Trust Center and how easy this is to use. You need to use this if you're not techie savvy or familiar with Twilio, because here's what will happen. This can take you or your customer 1 day, 3 days, 4 weeks, and you could wait 4 weeks and it'll get denied if you did it wrong. That's why I'm saying this is important, right? Because your customer's waiting. Your customer wanted it yesterday, so you have to make sure you're prepared to at least make up for the time that in their mind they lost, right? And as you do that, you get this validated. Now you have all your settings and you're able to make your adjustments as needed, right? So I'm hoping this helped bring some clarity around all of this, right? Like, if you have any questions about that, like, that's important to really jot down. For out of country, I know that's come up here. For out of country, I don't know the full details, but let me see something here. For those that are asking for out of country, I think that the best bet to give you the best information, and I just want to try something so I can make sure I'm accurate here. Go to add number. Let me just try something here. Okay, so out of country, you could do this here as well. You could do the process here as well, because again, it goes through Twilio. This is just an interface. So like if it was in Philippines, right? This will pull up the Philippines. Switzerland will pull up Switzerland. South Africa, right? So you have all these different areas here. I honestly don't see India for my clients that are asking. I got to get some additional information. But the alternative here is to do WhatsApp. As needed. But I'm going to make a note to find out, because I haven't gone in depth on this on a live, and I didn't think about particularly certain countries. But we'll get you clarification. But this is the core, right? Like, you get this part done, you got like 70% of everything else done. This is like 70% of one, review success rate, review response, communication, and like with a phone number, now you could upsell them into payments. You could upsell them into conversations, into like, there's a bunch of different ways, right? So that being said, same thing with email. You'll want to go into your settings. You'll want to go to email services. Follow the information. You'll use the lead connector email, and you'll go through that email process. Now, this email is much more easier because you're not having to get like a regulatory processes involved. This is just adding a domain name that your customer gives you access to, and you're up and running as long as you set up your settings, you're replying forward, all that good stuff, right? So this is a little bit more straightforward and quick, right? So any questions on that, jot them down below. And as we go here, I do want to talk about with the onboarding. Let's get into this feature here. So phone number, email's up. Phone number, email is up. Where's my strike through? Can't find the strike through when you need it. I know it's here somewhere. All good. We'll just like that, right? Adding staff. So, let's say, for example, now, we have the staff list. We're going to go into our account, My Staff, because the My Staff is for this particular sub-account staff. Sub-account is for your customer. So yours is the agency view. You have a sub-account for your business, and then your customer has a sub-account for their business. So we need to add staff to their sub-account. So we go to add employee, plug in the information, and then it'll send them a password and a link, right? And how they log in is based on the domain you used in your white label setup, which, so let's say in this case, is app.superreviews.com. This one is app.gohighlevel.com. That's our domain. So you'll add their employees to it. They'll have access. What's really nice about this also is that with the access, you can, as you go through these tabs, you'll be able to turn things on as needed, turn them off, And they'll have access to all of this as well to make changes as their calendar, all that good stuff, right? So you want to make sure you add your clients and then their staff that needs to be added, right? So we got that part, onboarding done. Boom. Right. Perfect. And now we have to download the app, right? So for the app, we're going into our customer's account, sub account. We'll go to mobile app. And we could do one or two things. We could text them. We could text all the team members that we've added an invitation to download the app, or we could just include this in our onboarding email, right? But you want them to download this app. It'll be very important. And it'll walk through what's included. Right? This gives a nice little tour of what's included. This is also visible to your customer in their section here, the mobile app. So they'll see the value. Right? So we have that. This is painful to watch. I'm sorry, guys. Right? Next thing is Facebook, Instagram connected. So we want to make sure we go to their Facebook, Instagram. So in order to connect those, there's a bunch of different ways to connect it. Let's just put that out there. There's multiple ways to do a lot of things in high level for one feature alone, right? So we go marketing. And we go into marketing, we want to get their profiles connected. So definitely Facebook, definitely Instagram if it applies. Definitely the Google My Business. If there's only one that you could get the Google My Business. That's important. That's where the reviews are going to go, right? Want to make sure we have the insights, right? So we get that, boom, that's connected. And this is pretty easy. This will walk you through it step by step, right? So we got that part going. Right? Get idea list of where they want to receive. Okay, so we'll hold off on this one to the last one. Chat widget, right? So chat widget, conversation AI, they work together, right? So we'll want to go here. We want to go to sites. Go to sites. Then we want to go to chat widget, right? And then in the chat widget, we click new. I always recommend, so there's a couple ways to do this, right? SMS email is pretty much like they fill in their information and then it notifies you. And then you'll get back to them when you can. Live chat is when you're using the conversation AI tool back and forth or manually. And then WhatsApp is for that message to come in through the WhatsApp business platform. And then you could set up the WhatsApp back and forth, right? And if there are questions about these different parts, you can go to help.gohighlevel.com. And there's a lot of help there as well, right? Any questions? How are we feeling? Is this resonating with you? Is this something that it's exciting you? I watched the course and now it's great to see it live, or I see where this applies now. Let me know in the comments how this is working for you here. Right, great. So we got this part going. Now let's just say I'm gonna go live chat like I recommend. And so we just made this update here. Like y'all, when I tell you what's here now, like this is why we have to do these live all the time, because this stuff changes. And if we were just to replay what happened last week, it'd be outdated. Right? Like, so even like if in the course, like if there's parts of the course that a new interface is being tested or just launched, like we'll have to get back to that so that way it matches 100%. But at the very least, walking you through this is so important that you're seeing it as live as possible, right? And to y'all point here, like Yes, practice should make perfect. Great point. Yeah, it's awesome. Like I got a couple comments that this is awesome. It's awesome because you're embracing, you're excited, you finally found a tool that you can one monetize, two enjoy and learn, and three not have to see a credit card bill with 14 different fees on it because all of this has everything you need for the one fee that you end up subscribing for, which was either 97, 297, or 497, right? So that's the best part about this. But let me get back to this chat widget. Go into the chat widget. There's 3 tabs up here, right? So we can customize the style, which is dope, to be honest with you. Like this was not here. This was not here long ago. Style format, right? It gives you the example here. Icon, clean, crisp, add your own photo, themes, switch it up, right? As you want, right? You got to open this up, theme, color, style, right? There's like enterprise software out there that has like these little buttons. Like you could always tell when a piece of software is expensive because all the like big companies have it, and then you look it up to be curious, like, oh, I'm not spending $1,300 for this, or there's a minimum license requirement of 150. That's like almost 200 grand. Like, why would I buy that for just this? Right? So it's nice that if you're a small to medium sized marketer agency, you get the big boy toys too. You get the look and feel that the mass customers are experiencing. And you may be asking, like, well, what do you mean by that, John? Well, what I mean by that is, look, all these big companies spend either thousands of thousands, or millions of dollars in their marketing budgets, right, on a monthly, quarterly, yearly, right, level. And they get a lot of traffic. And then a lot of their competitors do the same. They get a lot of traffic, which means you as a consumer probably walk through 3 or 4 competitor sales cycles or their websites, and they all kind of look the same. And they all have these same like features and widgets and gadgets. And you're like, oh man, I need that for my site because my customers would expect that too. And that's where that thing is like, oh, this is expensive, right? So you have all that now here with this, and then you could adjust your messaging, your custom messaging, your widget itself. You want to put this on the bottom right? Great. You want to put it on the top left? Go. If you want to put this here, there, everywhere, you get to pick where you want the widget, right? And then we go to the chat window. Yes, there's more. Title intro. Want to add an email? Add the email. Email's added. Want to change this call to action to press the button? Right? Press the button. Like there's so like you own the whole experience with this, folks. Messaging. Acknowledge it. See ya. All right, like how do you think we did? I'm really interested to know. Like there's a personality that your brand may or may not have, and you get to determine how you express that. Right? And the color. That's not my brand color. Let me go this route, right? You adjust it to what works for you. Language. I'm going Spanish, right? So you have this flexibility here, folks. Then you could do it for WordPress. So you could plug this into WordPress seamlessly for your customer, or you could do it by code. Up to you. And if you build them a website in high level, you could just turn it on and it pops up. That easy. That easy, right? So boom. Chat widget set up. That was fun. All right. Now we got to set up the conversation AI because we set the chat widget up, but now people are going to be coming on there and asking questions. All right, so let me just delete this here. All right, and now by like out the box, the chat widget is the conversation AI needs to be activated. So you'll go to your agency view. You'll go to your agency view as it's loading up here. Right, I'll go to agency view, and then I'll click on conversation AI. Click on conversation AI, and then I just got to find my sub account, right? And I just got to make sure I enable it, right? Like this is on, but let's say it was off. By design, it's off, so I'll like turn it on. Now it's on, right? So you want to get your conversation AI because your customers are not going to want to babysit, right, the conversations, and then you could train it, right? So now, again, depending on how much you charge or what you want to do, these are all options that you can include or omit as needed. But now I go into the conversation AI section in my sub account. I'm here in the sub account. I need to turn this on to autopilot. I can add the channels that I want the conversation AI to work for. Make sure my business name is there, set up my settings, and then I can go ahead and train my bot, right? So like, let's say I want to train my bot on the gohighlevel.com website. I'll tell it to go scrape that website, get all the information from that website, learn it, live it, love it. It'll do its job. So then when those questions come in regarding services, pricing, whatever the case may be, it's working off of what's on the website. So it trained it, right? And now let's say I want to see like, all right, well, like what does it know? Well, let's check it out. Go to bot trial. And this is just for you to kind of see it in action. Right. So there's a couple things here that like this isn't the best answer. So do you help with getting reviews? Right. And now this is just the bot. We're just, teaching it. It's not perfect, right? But maybe the part on our website wasn't specific about this. Right. And this is that flow. And now you have your bot settings. All this is set up. Right. Pretty cool, would you say? Right. So now, we got that set up. So conversation AI is going. That means somebody goes to the website. They're communicating with a trained AI assistant. Now let's go to the reputation management section. Click on the reputation management tab. And in this section here, like I showed you the other day, we have everything activated. I always recommend if you have opportunity to upsell Yext, definitely worth updating it because Yext, if you go to help.gohighlevel.com and you type in Yext, they'll give you some more insight. But it's basically where there's about 95 plus websites that are trusted globally by Google. Those sites integrate with the search, the name, address, phone number on those sites, and information accordingly sync. And when crawlers or search engines are looking for the right answers or the best result to share, they're going based off of what the majority say. Consider this the majority, right? Consider these 95 sites to be the majority, the authority. So you make sure you're on there and you're listed and your information synced, right? So always recommend to upsell that. You want to definitely walk through here with your customer, like this section of how to get here. And then obviously like the request. So let's say here now, like for example, let's say now like we have our customer and they have a list of people that they want us to import, right? So let's go this route here so you can kind of see that. And again, this might create me a fake list of full name and phone numbers in a Excel format sheet that I can use for a training as an import, right? So essentially, you want to grab this client list that I'm having made by ChatGPT right now, this fake client list, and you want to work with what they have because maybe they have a Square, maybe they have Stripe, maybe they have PayPal, maybe they have a restaurant POS system, maybe they have something that has this information of their customers. So you want to get that in a CSV format, right? You want to get that in a CSV format, and I just want to do a couple quick things here, and I'm going to walk you through how that looks here real quick. Right? So let me I'm gonna grab this list, this little fake list I created here. Right? So this is the list, phone number, full name, phone number. Right? We're gonna call this test list. Right? And we're gonna save this. Again, your customers may be at different levels. They may not even have anything. They might just have pieces of paper of invoices with phone numbers. There's a couple different ways. In the past, what I've done is I've just taken pictures of those invoices with the name and phone number. And then I've used a tool where there's a bunch out there, but you basically scan it and then it takes it and puts it in some sort of editable document format. So there's options, there's different ways. So now we got to we got to import our customers. So we'll go to contacts, right? We'll click on the import contacts. We'll click upload a file. We'll go to our test list, right? It's got to be CSV. Click next, right? It's pulling the format, full name, phone number. Right? Add new update. Okay, it's pretty standard. Want to validate that it's not a duplicate. We'll label it previous customer list, right? Hit confirm. We're good to go. We'll submit it. Now, so basically, like in order to get the engine going, we got to put the key in. So this is putting the key in. We're grabbing a list of past customers from our client. We're putting that in a CSV format, whether we're using ChatGPT to organize it or whether it's already organized to a download. Then we're uploading that into high level or your platform, whatever you call your platform, right? And it'll show up here, right? So now it's uploaded 20. Oh no, there's an error. Why did it do an error? Let's see why. Cannot parse phone number. Huh. So let's should have known. Please recreate with This is probably why, because I had all the 55555s. Yep, and there's a whole. Thank you guys. Yeah, this is that's how you know this is live. We're running with it here, and this is like the best part, right? Like there's learners that want just like give me the final great version, and then there's learners that actually learn better when they're seeing some of the mistakes, some of the holdups, and you can't unsee this. So now you know the potential of what you might experience. So thanks for the support here, y'all. This definitely helps a lot. So we're gonna go this route. And then what we're going to do here a little different than I think I might have forgot was we're going to clear formatting. So that way it takes out any weird formatting that might be behind the scenes here. Right? We're going to go, we're going to download it. And this is sheet 1 of 101. Okay. So we're going to go here. We're going to go to contacts. We're going to go import. We're going to grab the latest version. We got this. See here. This tag's already here. See here. Messing with me. Okay, so we'll let that roll here. But the overall goal here is right knowing that there's contact information. So let's just go this route. Just for time's sake, I want to make sure I at least show you this. I'll go add contact. Right, we go here. I think my internet just might be jacked up. Yeah, I think my internet might be a little jacked up here, or my cookie. So one thing you'll learn here is when you got like I have a lot of Chrome extensions. These Chrome extensions jack everything up. So my recommendation is create a new Google profile with no Chrome extensions when you use high level, because that will jack it up. And this is loading up a new sub account. Let's see here real quick. Still processing. I don't know what's happening there, but I just think it's my cookies. I don't want to start rebooting stuff here while I'm live with you. But long story short, we're going to take these contacts and we want to. I got 2 phone numbers here, right? So I got something to use here. I'm going to go to reputation and I'm going to teach you here, right? Like, so look, we're going to send out our first set of review requests. We have a couple of options. We can send them out individually as you want. And we could do an email or an SMS and we could send that out, right? So that'll be done here. And once you do that, then that'll register in this portal section of results. And then, we have another opportunity here where you can actually go into our automation, right? And this recipe that we created for y'all is our send a review request for you, right? So if you want to create it in a way where it'll send out, pause, and as you go, you can customize that here by adding custom fields, right? So again, you have a big list. You could import it and drip it in. If you have a small list, you can do one by one. If you're building a process around after a service is completed, you could use automations and create that process when a payment's requested, a review request goes out, right? So if I were to, do this here, and I do, I highlight these two, send review request. And this may not work because my, here we go. Send review request, right? I can do SMS. And then let's say this is a list of 30 or 300. We're going to do an SMS review request. We want to always do it in drip mode. If one thing, additional thing you get here, drip mode is the way to go, right? Review request to previous customers. I want this to start today. Always give yourself like a few minutes just in case you're going to make an edit. I want to send out 10 messages, 10 review requests after every 8 minutes. And I only want this to happen from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Send review requests, right? And it's scheduled. And now this schedule, if you need to make a change or edit, will be under bulk actions right here under queued. Be right here under queued, right? View details starts on during the time frame, happens these dates, 8-minute delay, 10 cents each time. And then actions, pause, cancel, edit. I'm going to cancel it. So we import that list. We highlight the list in the contacts. We highlight the list in the contacts, right? We hit the star. Want to do email review request now. We'll do drip mode, always drip mode. Jot down so you know what it is. Starts on, date, quantity, boom, 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 and then send. Right? That's how you can get your quick wins for your customers. Customer just starts with you, that's where the quick wins go, right there. Import a list, send out the review requests. Now, when those review requests go out, this is where they'll show up. In the click all, it'll show here, all the outbound. It'll show in the recents, and it'll show in the unreads if they message you back. So you'll have those areas to see. Okay? And then there's, go back to reputation tab, right? Now that you got review requests out, well, shucks, now we have to set up for responses, because if we're not responding to reviews, well, then we're not getting the benefit, right? So we'll go to the settings, go to reviews AI. You could turn on auto responses. This will do it for you. If you do suggestive, you'll have to press the button to finalize it. You select which one. So it only works on Google or Facebook right now. You could determine how you want the auto response to be sent to, if it's only 5 stars or all. We want to wait 3 minutes after the review comes in, or let's say 5 minutes, however you want. Now, this footer part is where you'd put whatever you want to put there. But just keep in mind, you want to make it general, so that way it can be worked on every footer, right? So we have that. The review link, right? You'll want to set up a review link. So this is where you'll need to connect your Google business profile for your customer, so you can select the page and then grab the link. And then SMS review requests, right? That'll go here as well. Email review requests are here as well. And then if for your customers that want to do like, flyers or pamphlets, like here's the thing, like you have a restaurant and a restaurant gives you a check, right? Well, let's say your customer gets like a little, little bookmark style flyer created. They put the QR code on there and they say, scan this, leave us a review, show it to your waiter, and receive a free dessert or $5 off your bill, right? And that will help you, right? That's another way that you can get those reviews up. Now, as you're positioning this review software, right, your KPI reviews, your KPI are reviews. So you want to make sure you're leveraging all these features to get reviews in the door. Now, keep in mind, reviews won't happen overnight if it's a small list. But if you have a decent sized list and there's a constant flow of customers, like I was mentioning yesterday in sales and prospecting, you want to work with businesses with a decent flow of customer base. So you always have new people to reach out to, right? So this is another way to get those reviews, coming in, right? So let's just say I want to go to ChatGPT and I want to go, please help me create a flyer content that I can use to attach to a restaurant bill check that asks my customer to scan this QR code to receive a free dessert or $10 off their bill. Please also create this in Spanish. Let me see if I could try something here on the spot. For y'all, don't know if this is gonna work, but we're gonna give it a shot. Gonna create a QR code. Save. This is the review QR code. Okay. Edit. Download. Please. If this works. I'm working off the free version, so see if this does it. Oh, it's giving me instructions. Perfect. So, like, how? So I got this here right now. Now this is where you're using your AI as your assistant. I have a restaurant client, and I want to get some more Google reviews. I'm using a software called High Level. What else can I do to get reviews for my customer? Right. So this is like this. I'm leveraging AI to help me pick a use case strategy, right, for what I'm doing, right? And this is how you start to really leverage your creativity without having to bank on reading a bunch of books or a bunch of YouTube videos. Like there's enough here to work with, and with the software coupled with it's a win-win. This is a win-win, right? And if you feel that this is a win-win, let me know in the comments below. This really just starts with just being familiar where to push the buttons and how to push the levers, what's available, what needs to be used right away, what's a nice to have, what's a must have. And I'll kind of share this with you. Well, must have is you need a customer list. A must have is you need to have a workflow of how you get those customers, whether your customer imports them, your customer connects through some sort of API or webhook into high level, right? You'll need to do a little bit more research and get some additional help on how to get that going. Our support team, most cases, can help you with the guidance, right? And as you do that, you're able to at that point get that flow coming in organically on its own. And then at that point, you're getting the reviews and requests out. So a lot of this has to do with really understanding the workflow, the benefit, and the how-to, technically and strategy-wise. This hopefully gave you a good overview of that, in which now you're able to implement. And implement's the main part. You got to implement now, right? So I hope this helped tremendously on just kind of walking through. And I'm going to go through a few things here now just to complement what we've gone over technically, right? What we've gone over technically is everything that's going to complement the importance of a timely onboarding. So you want to accomplish all of this within the first 72 hours, because first impressions establish professionalism and the urgency, and the client will trust you quicker, and they'll then be at bay and at ease that they're getting the service they paid for, right? And if you're doing this virtually, you want to share your screen initially, right? Walk them through the agenda. Then you want them to share their screen, and you want them to drive. And you want to make sure you're bookmarking the areas that your customer should bookmark, which should be the lead connector help guide, which should be the mobile app, right? Having all these functions going. And you want to obviously use clear, simple instructions. I leverage some ideas with ChatGPT. You want to ask some questions, which is like, where do you want to be at? What are your goals? What are you looking to accomplish? What's your opinion on this, that? And then follow your checklist that you've shared and give clarity on what's coming up. And the impact on that is a smooth onboarding leads to higher client satisfaction, and people are happy. When people are happy, they want to do more, right? Your client feels confident and supported from the start. And the client confidence is what you're building up in the onboarding right away, right? So having a nice introduction, being a nice tonality, good energy, positive thinking, creating some goals, creating some touch points, aligning your service offering with the client's objectives, and sharing what the roadmap looks like ahead. And now you're setting up for success. Now you put a process in, or you have an understanding of where their data is located. Is it on their tablet? Is it on their POS system? Is it on their phone? Is it on paper pen? And now you're then showing them briefly training on how to use the system like I showed you, right? Not as detailed as I showed you, but just how to use it for asking for reviews and where to look and where to go. And then you can start to customize and tailor things as you evolve. And the goal here is to ensure this long-term success. And these small wins add up. Your customers' eyes pop open when they see a feature. That's a win. Customers asking questions. That's a win. Customers getting reviews. That's a win. Customers adding their Square account, their Stripe account, this, that, their Google. That's a win. All these wins pop up and build upon each other. And as I mentioned before, this all starts and ends with you, your tonality, your availability, your emails, your outreach, how you say and what you explain. So that welcome email, you could create one that's custom to you, your personality. Having the kickoff meeting, going over the process, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be clear to understand. Setting up the account, showing them the initial training, right? Giving them a little bit of hands-on training, doing a little test, sharing where the resources are, showing them some examples like I showed you. Client feels more comfortable, more confident. This isn't big like they thought it was going to be. This is actually really easy. Walking them through the reputation tab. Show them like where they can see the KPIs. Where could they keep an eye on things? What's the impact on the business? How to send a review from their mobile phone, right? These are the KPIs, so-and-so. This is your start. This is where this is where we want to get you. Setting 30-day reminders or 30-day, 60-day, 90-day reminders, right? Let's look at the growth as we go. Creating visuals is important. Now, let's say you're not good at graphics. Well, you could use ChatGPT, Dolly. You could use Canva. You could use anything. Just create something that aesthetically shows value. Give them the visual. Excite them. Let them know that you've spent time in their business. And as they start to learn more and more, they start to see that the invites went out, the reviews were received, the sentiment's up, the average rating's high, their SEO listings are active. You're able now to create case studies. You're able now to give them the before and after view. And as you are monitoring the account, you get to see what's going on too with your access. You know where you need to pivot. You know where you need to follow up with them. And that's like the biggest part of this is managing expectation and managing the actual doing. Again, if there's no customer lists and there's no review requests, you have no reviews coming in. And then as you evolve, right, you get some new reviews. Now you want to put the widget on their website. You want that widget on their website so their customers see their reviews. And I went over the settings. You want to go over the settings. Maybe they want to turn off auto responses. Maybe they want to turn it on. You have the customization and flexibility. As long as you know what to do, it's up to you. And as I mentioned before, the Yext integration is key because it's those 95 plus sites that Google looks at it as authority and trustworthy. So getting your customer on there and you also making revenue from it doesn't hurt. It actually helps both. And the service fulfillment is based on your knowledge. What you know, how you stay up to speed, how you stay aware is what you could share. Right? You need to understand it. You need to really embed yourself in the software. You need to look at the updates. Our co-founders are putting out update videos, update alerts. Our Facebook groups are on fire, right? There's updates, conversations, our help guides, our change log. Like we make everything visible for you. There's no lack of information available to you. So you have everything you need to really put yourself in the ecosystem and bring your customers into that same ecosystem. But most importantly, you can't do anything if your customer doesn't know how to log in, right? So 2 things to keep in mind here. 1, you got to make sure you add your domain name to your account so that way they sign in app.yourdomainname.com. Don't call the platform your platform with your name if you have Go High Level as the domain name in it. Don't do that to yourself. Make sure your domain white label is there and you do it. You need help? Contact our support team. They'll walk you through it. And then bookmark that. You want to bookmark that link. So it's app.yourdomain.com. Bookmark it on their site, on their desktop. Make sure they have the app because they need to log in. Our help guide, help.leadconnector.com. Right? This is the gray label version of the help.gohighlevel.com. Your customers can go in there and get help too. And making sure you bookmark this on their Chrome browser. Let them know you need to use Chrome. Chrome is going to give you the best result. And the mobile app Store or Google Play Store, that's what the icon looks like. That's the name of it. Get them in there. And that's why I did what I did the way I did it. We went over all the technical stuff first, which I might have lost you if I didn't. Right? We took on the hardest part first, which was the technical, the walkthrough, the let me show you how we do this. And you did great. You rocked it. You're patient, had great questions, shared your feedback, shared your concerns. We'll get to you. Jordan below has put in the chat, speakwith.us/success. These superhumans behind the scenes, they're there, right? They're there to help you. They know you're coming. But if you don't click that link and go in there, well, then they can't help you, right? We do our best to help you in the chat, but sometimes because all learners are just a little different, there needs to be like, hey, one-to-one here, go here, go there, like see this, not just type it out and you read it. So if you found this insightful, if you found this encouraging, if you found this to be what you needed, because you have not yet jumped into the course for whatever reason, or you've jumped into the course, but you're more of a live learner, let me know below. Because we got more coming to you. And if you liked this, you loved this, you enjoyed this, well, then you got to check out our other workshops that we have. You got to jump on our YouTube and see our interviews on the spotlight session, our lunch and learns, our masterclass. Like there's a wealth of information here. But really, if you don't get the core done first, everything else is just a nice to have. Get your high level up first. If you haven't got a trial yet, you're missing out. The link is below in the chat. Get your trial up and running. Get your high level white label set up. Get familiar with it. And then start consuming information as you go. Right? If you're a coach consultant, this is the tool for you. If you're a business owner, this is the tool for you. If you sold other software, used other software, and want to switch over, we can help you switch everything over from that software, from that subscription, from that company, from whoever you're using. We see it every day. Some of the biggest names that people use, they switch over to high level because of the flexibility, customization. For the price point, you can't beat it. So, y'all, we're at time. We're at time. It has been an amazing time with you. We got so much stuff ahead of us. I'm going to give you guys a half hour back in your day here, but that's the half hour to get into what you got to do to get up and running. If you haven't joined the Facebook group yet, you're missing out. Jump in that Facebook group. If you haven't been admitted yet, it's a couple reasons why they haven't let you in yet. You haven't completely filled out all the fields. You haven't accepted the terms and conditions, or you're not in the system as a customer or a trial. So that group is only for customers or trials that are part of the 5-day challenge. So if you didn't sign up for like the 5-day challenge, well, you'll have to sign up for the actual challenge, the next one, and then we'll let you in the group, right? So the group is designed to be intimately smaller than 30, 40,000 people. This is our groups, I think it's like 3 or 4 or 5K, but that's what we have in the challenge from the last 30 to 60 days. So a lot of like-minded people there, man. Y'all been great. Give yourself a round of applause. Y'all really, really did yourselves a great job. I'm excited. Till tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to go over retention and ascension. So we just went over the onboarding. That's going to fly by quick. Now we got to get their accounts growing. Maybe they're at 97, 197. We got to get them to 597. We got to get them, and again, it's not just about the money, it's about the resources. We got to open up and make available more tools for them, more coaching, more implementation. And we can only do that if they pay us a premium and they pay for that service, right? Because we can only, as experts, give our time and attention to those that pay what our price is in order to give them the service they want. So, you know me, I'll go on and on and on. Y'all been great. Little fist pound. Have a great one. We'll see you till tomorrow. Come with a cup of coffee or tea. Throw the chat. Oh, wait a minute. Actually, I caught myself here. We got to pull a winner. Jordan, do we got a winner? This is going to be a hard one, man. Look in the comments below for a winner. We got a winner announced here in about a minute. A winner for our swag. And the winner is, I love it. Let's give him a round of applause. Nice. Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all. We're gonna pull another winner tomorrow. Anytime we pull a winner, man, I get goosebumps. The hairs on my arms pop up, man. It's always fun. We appreciate you. We hope you rock that swag with excitement, and we'll see you. And if you haven't got your Level Up Summit tickets, get the Level Up Summit tickets. October is around the corner. The tickets are going hot like hotcakes, like your favorite meal. Get a ticket to the high level Level Up Summit. going to be great.